Alrighty, let's jump into this part 2. I started part 1 yesterday before I headed out to celebrate the new year. And I had fun. I feel like I could have had more fun had I prepared and planned for New Year's Eve, but I didn't. I just kind of did something last minute. So I went to this comedy show out in Harlem. It wasn't my first time there. When I finally got there, I realized, like, oh, I've been here before. It's a shrine music place in Harlem on Adam Clayton Powell Road. And it was kind of dry, but no surprise, though. It's funny because the comedians and the host, they were like, wait, where is everybody? It's so skimp in here. So you can count the number of people that showed up probably on 2 hands, maybe and a foot, right? But it was all right. It was good for what it was worth. But I think this year, to bring in the new year for 2025, I'm definitely probably going to do a boat ride. It's funny because when I looked at my memories for last year, I said that 2023 I was going to bring in 2024 in Africa. It didn't happen, but who knows? Who knows what the future holds? So let's go ahead and jump right back here into this decluttering video. So for my first video, I actually was able to amass about 4 bags of clothing that I want to donate to one of these charities out here. Whoever calls me first is willing to pick it up. But all of these 4 bags, I have 4 bags sitting in front of me. This actually came from my closet alone. Okay, and then the remainder of these things came from like storage bins. So I'm gonna go through these things here and let's chat it up. So as I was saying, like in part 1, and my hair is wet. I just washed my hair. I just actually got out of the shower and washing my hair. But as I was saying, like it's difficult to let go of some of these things because it's funny, like when we wear things, right, especially for myself, like it holds sentimental value, right? It holds the energy that you possess at that particular point in time. So I was going through my closet, figuring out which items I wanted to get rid of, no longer keep, and donate. I'm just looking at some of these things. It's just like, I remember wearing these things. I remember the places I wore them, just the time in my life, right? The energy that I held in that time in my life when I wore these things. So it's just like, it's just like kind of, it's more than just a garment, right, that I'm letting go. It's more so like a significant time in my life. These are memories here. So, but I have to part ways. I gotta make room for new things. So I actually love this dress. I kind of love all things about Marley. And the place that I went to yesterday to celebrate the New Year's Eve, it was a comedy club, and after the comedy show, they had a live jazz band perform, right? And they were performing some reggae vibes. And by the way, who's looking forward to the Bob Marley movie coming out 2024? I know I am, but yeah, I love this. But I'm parting ways with it. So let me get my bag ready. Oh, I gotta sneeze. So at the comedy show, like one of the comedians asking, like, you know, what are people's New Year's resolutions, right? And of course, around this time, we all make New Year's resolutions, things that we want to change, things that we want to see different. I think sometimes the error that people make in setting New Year's resolutions is that they set goals that are unachievable, right? And it's not really a goal that you can kind of break down to smaller parts and make happen. Sometimes it's just this big, massive thing they want to do, right? They may say, oh, I want to start a successful business. You know, not really taking time to do the research and look into it to see that most businesses fail within the first, 2 years of this opening, right? So it's not easy. I do own a nonprofit organization called Ubawa that I founded back in 2010. So some of y'all who subscribe and follow me on Ubawa, y'all also follow me on my personal page. Some of y'all don't. Some of y'all don't know anything about what Ubawa is. Come on over. That is my nonprofit literary organization I founded back in 2010 to give underrepresented authors, particularly African American Black authors, a platform to be seen, to be felt, to promote their literary works. And so far, we've hosted 3 annual book conventions. The first being in Atlanta, the second one happened here in New York City, and then the third happened in Los Angeles. So we're vamping up to host a 4th. But I say that to say, like, you know, when you are really truly invested and committed to, you know, your vision that you have right inside of you, which we all have visions, we all have things that we want to achieve, you got to just stick to it, right? If I have given up at the first sign of opposition, the first sign of doubt, you know, or denial or setback with Ubawa would not be what it is today. And as it stands, Ubawa is one of the fastest growing literary organizations in America. Like, it's kind of like the go-to literary organization for African American authors if they want to be seen. You know, they want to. They need help promoting their books. So they don't know just where to start when it comes to writing a book. Ubawa is that. So, anyway, let me get off my promotion box. But this piece I actually got probably in the last year, but I don't wear it that much. I used to wear it a lot when I worked at the other hospital. And one of my patients had a nerve telling me, Dr. Leach, that look like something a homeless person would wear. I was just like, you throwing shade? You got shade? I have a lot of these shirts I got from like Rainbow, but parting ways with them. I feel like, you know, once you wear stuff like that several times, it just loses its fervor. I love these. I got several of these too from the same place, from Rainbow. Very stylish little hoodie. But I feel like, you know, the summer is coming up, right? The spring, summer coming up. Like, they're going to have new things. So why hold on to old when I know I'm going to buy new ones? So that's just how it is. But as I was saying in my other part 1 video, I feel like even making this video is just very nostalgic, and it's striking something inside of me, knowing where I come from, right? Knowing that I want to say I come from a poor family, because poor is just relative, it's subjective, right? It depends on how you define what poor is. I don't feel like I have not one poor bone in my body, and I find it annoying when people are like, "Oh, poor so and so," like, you know, don't project that shit over here, right? But I come from a family, like my mom, I would say lower middle class. My mom and my dad both work, right? And we were afforded certain things that other families weren't. You know, when I look at my classmates, you know, they came from single parent households, living in the projects, kind of lesser fortunate, I would say, than what I was. But I still wore like hand-me-downs. Like, I come from a very humble background where, even, yes, my mom would take us shopping at like Sears and JCPenney's for, like, you know, to go school clothes shopping, but she didn't hesitate herself to go shopping like at thrift shops. Not that she really got us. She tried to, but we wasn't really into it, right? Especially, like, you know how kids are, like, I don't want to wear no used shit. But she would shop at thrift shops, and I definitely would. And I think I have some things in here that were handed down from my sister, but I would definitely gratefully appreciate and accept hand-me-downs from my older sister, who was like 3 years my senior. So considering that, right, considering the place I was just 3 years ago, as I was saying in the previous video, where I still have my EBT food stamp card, so I ain't always been making 6 figures, but that's the place I'm at right now. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. I don't want for anything. And yeah, it's just like, wow. I think what it is like knowing where I came from. And I've been through some things. That's the reason why I was inspired to write my life story, my autobiography, which I have to wrap up. So it's written. I started writing it back in 2010, actually 2009. I was supposed to release it in 2010, but then some things happened within the family that kind of diverted me away from doing that. So with that, it's just y'all really know my story. I've been in the trenches. Like, I know what it's like to be hungry, and I know what it's like to be full. All right, I know what it's like to not have a roof over my head. And this was long after I moved out of my parents' home, right? I was an adult at this point, but I know what it's like to just go through the struggle phase, just having to panhandle. Yes, I know what that's like, and I talk about that in my autobiography. So looking at that and just seeing where I am now, it's just like, wow. I didn't give up, right? And I pat myself on the back. I applaud myself because, I knew that I was much bigger. I knew that I had something bigger in store for me than a place I was in at that point, right? Even though I was struggling and people would judge, and I was just, I've been through some shit. But anyway, I could just feel so grateful. And I'm able to pass things on and have so many clothes to give away. And yeah, so like I said, I have a lot of these shirts, which I've kind of more recently have not really liked the V-neck style. This is a V-neck style shirt, but I don't really like the V-neck style shirt anymore. Like the round one. This didn't make the cut. Though I love it, but I feel like I've worn it enough. This is a bag. I actually got this from online. It's at the front, the same as the back. I think so. Alright, this is another one I got from, I think, one of those shops in the fashion district here in New York. And yeah, I wore it a few times to work. But yeah, I don't have a use for it now. Oh, this shirt I actually got, I'm donating these because I'm not going to wear them. But this came as a gift from this movie screening I went to like a month ago, called The Holdovers. So it's a really good film, by the way. But yeah, I don't want this anymore. I don't think I wore it. Actually, did I wear it? I don't think so. I have a lot of these. Because I'm going to go shopping and get some new ones, fresh ones. And they only cost like $7. They don't cost that much. I see someone keeps popping in, popping out. Some of y'all watch me like voyeurs. I get this message from this person. Email me, right? They're not call me a freak. Like, oh yeah, I watch your videos. And I have to say, I'm very attracted to you. And I ain't even gonna lie. I think you a freak. I'm like, what? I think you a freak. And I wanna fuck you. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, ugh. I'm like, ew. You definitely got a wrong idea about me. What it is that I am sex positive, which means I embrace my sexuality and all that lies within it, right? So I embrace who I am. I'm just comfortable in my own skin, right? So there's all these different labels and terms for this and that, right? And they call a person like myself to be, sex positive or, just fluid, sexually free, right? Doesn't mean that I'm just out here fucking. In fact, believe it or not, we're in January 2024. Believe it or not, I've been 3 years sexually abstinent, okay? So how does that go along with being a freak? Please help me again. Please make it clear to me. So I had these shorts for so long. I'm very I discriminate when it comes to who I involve myself with, right? Like, we have to be in a committed relationship. I have to be attracted to you. You have to bring something more than just looks, right? Or money or whatever swag. You gotta bring more to the table than that. So yeah, that's why I haven't really dated in the past 3 years. I mean, I've been like talking to guys. I met guys off dating app. Right, the furthest it kind of went is maybe like a phone conversation or two or several. One guy, we made it offline, right, to meet in person. We're on a couple of dates, but nah. Nah, baby, I'm not giving the cookies like that. Just not, you know. But listen, I don't knock people who do. You listen, you do you. I think the thing is because I am a vlogger and I'm very confident in the things that I talk about, right? And I cover a variety of different topics. You know, I talk about race. I used to talk about race politics really heavy back when I was in LA, but now I kind of slid over to talking more about sexual activities and lifestyles, and you know, it attracts a certain audience. And the way I speak about it, you know, I just speak about it as if I'm very comfortable in my own skin to talk about it. And that's why I think people somehow get it mistaken. People think that I am involved in the whole cuckold dynamic, cuckold lifestyle. I'm not, but I don't judge those who are. Right? And this whole series with me talking about cuckolds that I actually created from the demand from you guys who want me to address it, I created a whole playlist of videos on YouTube, and right now I think we're maybe at like over 80 some videos. I'm just talking about different aspects of cuckolding, and y'all think somehow I get called a freak from that. I'm like, all right, if you want to say so, whatever. But these pants, I got back when I was living in Hollywood, California. There was a shop on Hollywood Boulevard called Musée, and most of their clothes come from like overseas. Like I think this was made in, I can't read the label, it's so old, and I wore these pants the hell out. But a lot of the clothes come from like, oh, this is Thailand. Some come from Nepal. So yes, honey, but it's time to retire this. I mean, I wish I can get another pair though, like a brand new, fresh pair. But I just love the pattern. Isn't it so beautiful? But yeah, I'm gonna retire these. Someone else could benefit. It's another one of those hoodies, stylish hoodies I got. But yeah, I think y'all, you talking about creep or freak? Y'all are the freaks. Y'all, y'all, especially when y'all be popping up in my videos and just watching like voyeurs, like this person right there just popped into my video. Y'all will sit and y'all will watch me and watch me and watch me and not say anything. That I find to be a little freakish. We're talking about freak. This is another one of those shirts that I got. Very comfortable kind of blouse that I got from this store in the fashion district. I think y'all be scared too. A lot of y'all be like, ooh, let me not just say nothing. Let me just sit here and watch. A lot of y'all are beta men. Little soft, little bitchy ass niggas. Ah. So yeah. What's this? I just actually got this maybe a couple of months ago, and I wore it maybe twice. But when I first got it, it was cool. It was cute when I first got it, but then I was like, yeah. I got a lot of these style dresses. I think I got them from the African market on 116th in Harlem. Love it. All right, let me put some of this in the bag. I have these pants for like forever. You know what? I could save them because they're still like most of all of this stuff is like still good quality. I can see myself like still wearing these to work, but nah. Yeah. Who's watching? Sometimes I call out names too, because Facebook lets me know who's watching. There's a button at the bottom I can click on and see who's tuning in. So listen, if I wanted to, I know who's watching. And look, they run away. I find that interesting. Watching, they run away. And y'all got nerve to be like, oh, I like you. Not in a million years would I ever be interested, really, in anybody who watches me. Like I said, I don't use this platform, right, social media, to solicit dates, right? I don't think y'all quite get it. But let me put it in plain and simple terms, right? Of course, this is a hobby for me, but all of my pages are monetized. So that means I actually get paid for my content that I create. Not just videos that I make, but also my posts. I think I got these actually too from this store called Musea on Hollywood Boulevard. Similar to those pants that I just showed you guys. Some overalls. It's just so beautiful. And the reason why, this is the reason why I'm giving these away, which this can be fixed, but the two buttons popped off on the side here. Right? So, of course it can be fixed, but I don't want to bother. I wore these. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's funny how like, every year, like around this time, people always say, oh, this is going to be my year, right? Like, I'm going to take this year by storm. Some people do because they have a plan. That's the difference. You got to come in with a plan, a solid plan for how things are going to be different. Otherwise, you're going to face the same shit. What's going to change? So I got this actually as a gift from one of my ex-partners that I dated. I feel like my life over the past several years, like from the time that I started my PhD program in 2016 out in LA to like when I left 2020, like a lot has transpired. I've dated several guys, kind of serious relationships. They weren't like necessarily long term. When I think of long term, I think of like at least a year. That's significant, right? But we just dated for like 3 months, 4 months. I don't even count that. And so I find it interesting because like when I'm on a dating site and I'm exchanging vibes with a person on there, and we're like figuring out, okay, when was your last relationship, right? And I often reference like my last serious long-term relationship, which ended December 2017. And so just today, like this person, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry? What are you sorry for? I'm good. And when I reflect, and I've done many reflections, this is just something I'm doing, very self-reflective. But as I reflect over my life, I'm like, yo, I've actually achieved much more during the time that I've been a single woman than I have ever achieved being with a man. Listen, not to knock dating, not to knock men, but what does that say? What does that say? It's just like, yo, I'm a very goal-directed person. I'm goal-oriented, so I'm focused. And sometimes the thing about relationships, especially dating a person, they can be your equal, but then I'm going to always keep rising. So oftentimes men don't be rising at the speed that I'm rising at, so they get left behind. And then with that level of there is like a gap, disparity between, my social status and his social status, or, my level of income versus his. Is just like there's feelings of insecurity, right? Feelings of inadequacy start to emerge in the guy. And so what does that leave me? You get what I'm saying? So the dynamic shifts, right? Anybody who, studies human behavior, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics, like anytime there is a shift, there is a change in any aspect of the system, right? It's going to shift other aspects in that same system, in that same dynamic, right? So, for example, if one person in that relationship is addicted to a particular substance, right? But then they get clean, they stop using. Meanwhile, the other person is like their identity, right? Their level of relationship to that person oftentimes is contingent upon that person using that particular substance, right? Like when we enter relationships, we kind of we shift into these roles. Oftentimes these roles are subconscious, right? So you may become the caretaker of a person who is dependent upon substances, right? Or, you have this certain perspective, this certain take on this person based on their current use. But then they say they stop using, then who are you to that person, right? Your whole identity shifts. So you have to be solid. You have to know who you are. And from what I've experienced, like I come across men who just, we're all still growing. I get it, right? But you gotta match my level of intellect. You have to just be sharp. You gotta know who you are, because I'm very advanced in knowing who I am and staying firm and solid in that. And it just hasn't worked out well. For men that I've dated, initially they'll express admiration. They're just like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, right? And they see that I'm smart, and they just are admiring and basking in the glory of who I am. But then when shit really hits the fan and we really start to get kind of immersed into this relationship with each other, right? Then it reveals a lot of aspects of who they are that don't quite measure up. So then therein lies the problem. So this I got from the African market on 1/16, but it's very small. And I didn't even realize that. I thought that, okay, maybe I can fit it, but I think my bust, sometimes I underestimate the size of my bust, right? So it's just like, yeah, it's just too small. And I wear a 38C. I'm a 38C. Might be too much information, but it's whatever. And so I'm just like, it's too small. So when I put it on, it was gripping. It was gripping. And you can see, like, underneath this part, this little scrunchy part, my breast just kind of bursting out. The bottom part of my breast just bursting out. So this seam right here is supposed to be under the breast, but it was just like in the mid of my breast. So it's just basically too small, essentially, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I want to get rid of it. So I didn't really wear it. It's practically brand new. Never worn. I have to part ways with it. And I love this. So I hate that I'm not able to fit it. I'm exchanging vibes with this one person. Somebody just texted me. I'm exchanging vibes with this one person, right? Same person, and he's like telling me, the reason why him and his ex broke up. He was dating this girl apparently for like 6 months. And he was like, we had some issues with communication. I was just like, where did the issues fall in terms of communication? Like, what were the communication issues? He's like, well, I realized, like, I don't really express my emotions. I just kind of keep things bottled in. And I always knew I had this issue. Right? And so then he's like, and I said, so why did y'all break up? He's like, this is another one. He's like, she had her own place. I didn't have my own place at the time. So, like, when we wanted to meet up, she wouldn't invite me to her place. Right? So I had to get a hotel. He said it as if like that was a problem. Nigga, yes, it's a problem that your ass ain't got your own place. We made it seem like it was a problem that she created because, she wanted to come to his place when he finally got his place, right? But he said they broke up. So it's funny. I don't think he quite realized the error in his thinking until he actually had to say it out loud, right? So he's saying this to me. And I can tell as he's saying this to me, like his thought process is shifting, right? Because he framed it initially as, oh, right, like she broke up with me, and he made it seem like, oh, it was her fault and this and the other. But it's like, nigga, ain't no woman, her right mind, a woman of dignity and class and that's self-respecting is going to invite you over to her place. She don't know where the fuck you live at. You telling her, oh, you don't have your own place. Like, nah, have your own shit. We are too old as adults for people not to have their own place to stay. All right, I'm not interested in any man. If you don't have your own shit, I've come across many men, some men in New York, renting out basement apartments. It's like, ew. One was staying in the basement, and he had had a nerve to invite me to this shit. Of course, because I asked, I'm just like, listen, you ain't coming to my shit. But yes, I'm willing to go to see your world, right? Then when I feel comfortable in your world, then I can make a determination as if I'm going to invite you to my shit. So I go to his place, and this was like a couple years ago. And it's a basement apartment in New York. And there are pests. It was terrible. It was just disgusting. It was dirt. I'm like, how do people live like this? I've heard of like this whole thing about bachelor cribs and all that. Fuck all of that. That ain't no excuse for a person to be living in filth. It was a place I couldn't stay. So I'm like, if I don't feel comfortable staying here, how can we build? How can we work things out? Like, how can we make some pop off from this? Like, where do we go? I don't understand. And then this person was trying to tout himself as, oh, he's an entrepreneur and he makes this kind of money and he just don't want to give all his money to the landlords, right? Because yes, rent is astronomically high. It's through the roof in New York City compared to other places. You know, if you were to compare the cost of living across the U.S., New York City ranks very high. It's up there. I get it, but fuck that. Like, make the money, or why are you here? It makes no sense. So this person, the same person, he has his basement apartment, but then he's also like living out of a fucking, what do you call that shit? Van life, motherfuckers living out of his damn van. And get a van, okay, it looks nice, but who? Like, you're inviting a woman to a van? So we're sleeping in a van outside, parked outside, just randomly in some place. Like, no, I don't feel safe. I don't think men get it. It's like, men, I don't know. Y'all just be so aloof sometimes. You can hear, the waistband there. So these are obviously the pajama pants. I don't wear these anymore. So this is one of the things I think my sister donated to me. A pair of shorts, and I had for ages, y'all. The stuff that my sister donated to me, I think I was back in high school, like 10th grade. So that goes to show you some of this shit. Like these, like a lot of shorts. I'm gonna show y'all some shorts that she gave me. This is one pair, but it's amazing. I can still fit them too. But definitely have to part ways. But yeah, it's just like, y'all, some of y'all, listen, if you watching this, right? Like, fill me in, but it's just like, come on. Come on, what is going on? What is going on? So going back to this other guy that I've been chatting with today, it's just like, and these guys be fine. They look good on the outside, but then when you start to peel back the layers, it's just like, what you got? Listen, if I'm a woman, I get it, yes. We live in a society, we live in a context, right? A racial, socio-political context where black people, right, all together are targeted and are discriminated against, right, racially. Right? So that means that we have a little bit difficult compared to other races, right? And even more so being a black man. So I'm aware of this, but that's no excuse, because you look around, you see black people doing well for themselves, black men and black women. What is your excuse? I'm about to say in our 30s. I just turned 40 last September. But listen, we are in our 30s and our 40s. Like, there is no excuse. Get it together, right? And if you're not there yet, then why are you on a dating site? You should not be looking for a woman unless, listen, you're like, I'm going to meet a woman where she is. We're going to be each other's equal, and we're going to both build together. That's something else. Because I've been there too, and I actually met my ex-best friend that way. Right? We were best friends for like over 10 years, dated for 5 of those years. And we both we're doing okay. Like, he had his own apartment, I had my own apartment, but then we both lost our apartments at the same time. We got evicted. This was back in Florida, right? The struggle phase, okay? Straight struggle phase. But, it's just like going through that struggle kind of pulled us together. That's a different scenario, but a lot of these men, it's just like, they don't be thinking right. It's like, where are you coming from of thinking that a woman is going to be down for inviting you over to her place? Listen, I lived in this place since 2020, going on 4 years, and only 2 people all together, 2 people have come into this place. I don't invite nobody in that shit. And I come across guys and we be like, we be dating, and they think like, oh, you're not gonna invite me to your, hell no, don't even get that shit out your mouth to even think that. Nah. Now, of course, we didn't made it to that point. I trust him. We trust each other. Like, nah. But you gotta get some skin in the game to come to my shit. Straight up. I love this piece. I'm gonna miss it. But it's time to part ways. But yeah, these motherfuckers be having the audacity, baby. I'm like, hell no. Okay. Hell to the nah, man. I noticed them talking about, oh, I'm sorry that 2017. Then you gotta be sorry for me. Tell my sorry because 2017 was the last time that I was in a serious long-term relationship. As I said, I'm good. But yes, I do aspire. Who knows if it's ever gonna happen? But yes, that's a goal of mine, to build a family, to have children. But listen, I'm not pressed for it because that shit gotta be right. I ain't just out here laying up. That should tell you something right there. If I ain't got no kids, that should tell you something right there. I'm not just down just to be laid up and procreate with any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. If that's the case, I could have been had some goddamn kids. Hell to the no. Okay? Hell to the nah. This is another one. Yeah, I got from the same place. Was there on Hollywood Boulevard. Y'all be having the wrong idea completely. I got a few turtlenecks like this. This is one. Alright, I'm gonna have the bag. But I get it because some of y'all women, and that's why women really don't watch my videos. If y'all look at my stats, you'll see only men watch my videos. It's very rare that women watch my videos. One woman that I thought that watched my videos that I thought was biological woman, but she was born man and she is a trans woman. That I found out, I had to look deeply at her picture. I'm like, oh, okay. And then it came up in conversation when she was watching all my videos. But men don't watch me because I tell it like it is. I ain't that kind of woman. I have the shit that a lot of y'all women putting up with, inviting men over to y'all place, and y'all slaving over the stove, cooking for them, and this motherfucker got that cheating, talking to this person, that person, knock you up, get you pregnant. All of the trauma and heartbreak and hell that y'all women go through for men. I ain't gonna say I could never, because I have, but I cut that shit short, man. And you have to live and you learn. You don't keep repeating the same exact mistakes. Damn that shit. Damn that. I be watching videos of women like just going through it. And some of y'all just be in relationships just to say you got somebody, men and women. How do y'all do that? What is the point of that? Just to say, oh, I got somebody, I got a boyfriend. But what is the quality of that relationship? Why even count it as a relationship if it didn't add anything to your life? you were with this person for a couple of months. Oh, but you're bragging about that was your last relationship. To me, that means nothing. Like I said, I often reference my last relationship as the one that lasted from 2014 to end of December 2017 for a number of reasons. One being the length of that relationship. It was solid and we lived together. That's the test right there. These little flings, these little motherfuckers that I be going out on dates with, and we make kids or exchange hugs, but nothing really materializes. I don't let it materialize beyond that because there's always something that they say, something they do. And I'm like, red flag, hell nah, right? But the length of that relationship, right? We were together for 3 years and we lived together. We were like really a couple. We were together. We lived together here in New York, and then I ended up moving out to LA. We both moved out there, right? We were together. We traveled, vacation, went to places together. So it was a solid relationship. And I would say that I actually gained something from that relationship in the sense that before I met him, I remember like I was a fucking diehard Christian. And on one of our first dates, we got into a debate. We were walking along Coney Island boardwalk. And we were having this debate on the skin color of Jesus Christ. And at the time, like I said, I was a diehard Christian, right? I'm born, raised in the Christian church. And so, of course, I'm like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter the color of his skin. What matters is the spirit, the energy that he possessed, right? Right? But funny enough, like through this debate, right, he was putting me on. And it elevated my level of consciousness because, like, on our very first date, right, I actually went to his place. And we watched Hidden Colors, the documentary series produced by Tariq Nasheed, based out in LA. And of course, I saw Dr. Umar Johnson. He stood out. But it's just a whole nother level of awakening and understanding. And it's just when you thought you knew, not to say I knew it all, but you thought you knew a decent amount of information, and you realize, like, oh, wait, this is a whole new world out here, right? So he exposed me to that. And from that, my appreciation for myself as a Black woman increased. That's what I gained, right? He definitely, I would say, like my interaction with him and what he brought, what he kind of exposed me to, inspired my dissertation topic on Black identity and acculturation of piece of racial bias, right? It's just kind of heightened it even more. Aside from the social context of what was happening in our society too. So it's just like, yeah, that relationship meant something. But all these others, I can't say. Now, there's a flip side to that. So this is another gift that I received from one of my partners. I ain't gonna say like every guy did. I ain't gonna sit here and throw y'all under the bus like that. Although, it's funny, my sister, I reflect back on my sister, she told, this was like so many years ago, probably over 10 some years ago. And I think it was my best friend, I invited to meet my family, and she got a nerve to tell his ass, Danielle, she good, now she good people, but she ain't afraid to push your ass under the bus. I'm like, hold up. I don't say I push people on the bus, but what I will do, I'm just gonna speak my truth, right? And you may feel a certain kind of way with me speaking my truth, right? But I'm gonna stand 10 toes down with mine. And so, not to say that since 2017 I haven't dated. Of course, I have dated a lot of men. When I say dated, I mean like going out on dates, right? To get to know a particular person. So I have gone on dates with different guys since 2017, and I have entered into like serious monogamous relationships with, several different men since 2017, right? Since my real deal relationship ended. They added, I will say some things, like even this person here, he's from West Africa, from Ivory Coast, and that was a solid relationship. We could have actually materialized as something, long standing, could have got married and all of that. But listen, the sex got to be right. The sex got to be right, and it just wasn't hitting. So this I'm giving away because when I received it actually as a donation, as a gift from this woman that I met at my former hospital where I worked here in New York. She was on her way out, and I kind of was like on my way in, first starting there. And she was like, oh, because she saw what I was wearing. She was like, oh, I got some African clothing I got actually from the motherland. Would you like me to bring it in? I was like, sure. So this is what she brought. And I could tell it was like already worn, a few sizes, a little bit too. I mean, I made it fit. And I maybe wore it a couple times, but I look like, like I said, these clothes I'm donating. A lot of these clothes, over 90%, I probably have not worn in the past year. So I realized, what's the point of holding on to something that you know your ass not gonna ever wear again? You ain't wore it the last year, right? 4 whole seasons that went by. What's the likelihood that you're gonna wear it? Very slim. So I just have to be honest with myself and just let it go. All right, so I have like maybe, I don't know, how many more bags? Maybe 3 more bags. So we got 5 bags here. So, wow, it's a lot of shit, y'all. I really hope that one of those donation companies really hit me back up. It's just a lot. I got a lot of coats here. I think this next section is going to be just a bunch of coats. Some of these coats I had from like back when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, like this one, I got when I was like struggling. I was in my struggle phase. I actually was homeless. I ain't gonna go into too much detail here, but I was homeless, and I remember there was this food pantry, and it had like a clothing a closet where you can go and they'll give you a ticket, you can get like some clothing items. But in order to even get invited inside, you had to line up early as fuck in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock. You had to get there because they only had a certain number of tickets. They would get people standing in line. It'd be a long ass line to go inside. Yo, this shit was insane. And so it was cold. Mind you, right? This is what I got from the closet. It was cold as shit, like almost 20. It gets cold in Atlanta, Georgia, like 20 some degrees, and we outside just waiting. I was going through it, y'all. When I tell you, I have a story, and I'm like, it's funny because I've been sitting on this whole story that I have to tell for a number of reasons, but I think it's time. And granted, when I wrote it back in 2009, I wrote it from a place of bravery. It's like when you at your lowest, it's like, what do you have to lose? Right? So you come with a different degree of fierce energy where it's just like nothing really can stop you. And I had a lot of energy like that I had in me, I put into my book. So I didn't care, and I was going to release it, and I was posting excerpts from my story on my social media. This is, like I say, back 2009, 2010. And so a family member saw my excerpts. They were following me on Facebook. They saw my excerpts, and then they shared it with another family member. And then the word got back to me that, oh, this is how people get sued, right? So I think at the time, even though I had it slated for release 2010, a year following after I had started writing it, I paused. I'm just like, not that I had disclosed any person's identity necessarily in the book, though with me changing the names, you read the book, and if you know, like, you part of my inner circle, my family, you know, right? And granted, my mom's side of the family is from St. Augustine, Florida, very small town, it's the oldest city in the United States. Everybody knows everybody, so it's not going to take much to read and then say, oh, okay, right? You know who, I mean, you know, right? Especially if I'm referring to my mom, okay? Everybody know who my mom is, right? So it's just like, they took it a certain kind of way, as if I'm writing this story about them because the excerpts. But it's not about you. So people fail to realize it's about me. This is not about you. It's a story about me and my survival, how I overcome it, things I've been through, lessons, right, that are valuable to me that I'm sharing with other people. But then it's like people, I hate when people do that. They make something that is so sacred to a person, but they take that away from them and they try to make it about, they steal that and they try to make it about them, right? And then they rob you of that. This is the reason why, because I lived that, it was so painful going through that experience, because it's just like people, they were invalidating my experience, my childhood experience growing up, as if, yo, I didn't go through this shit. All right, I ain't going into too much detail here, but it's just like, it was a huge, like, slap in the face, just a huge disregard. And so, listen, I love my family. Don't get me wrong. I love my fucking family, but it's a reason why I keep my distance, because it's just like me, I'm about truth, right? I'm not with that whole, oh, what goes on in the family stays in the family. Fuck all that, right? That's the reason why cycles repeat themselves. We got to break away from those cycles. Break away from those cycles of toxicity, right? Of abuse, of trauma. And when a person from a family circle speaks out, then, oh, they the bad person, right? Like, they get pointed out and labeled like something wrong with me. No, something is wrong with what's happening in the motherfucking family. And I'm calling that shit out. So I held off on releasing my story. But listen, I feel like it's time. And another reason was because, you know, I understand politics. I live it. My eyes are wide open. So beyond my book being kind of a reflection of my childhood, obviously it kind of taps into different aspects of my family dynamics. It's bigger than just family, right? Exceeding beyond that system, right? It talks about the political structure of the society in which we live, because I'm aware of that. I've been impacted by that. I've seen how the way the system is set up, how that has impacted my life. I'm not blind to that. Yes, I own my success. Yes, I own the hard work that I put in to get to where I am. But I'm still not negligent of what's happening in our society. Just because a person has reached a certain social status, right, or a certain tax bracket, as Black people, sometimes we think that, oh, that doesn't affect us, it don't apply to us, right? We're far removed from racial oppression, racism. Some people will even say, oh, I never even experienced racism. Like, how blind can you be? Right? But I'm glad that my eyes have always remained open. And so I know I've said before, okay, this is the year. This is the year I'm going to go ahead and release. I've said that so many times where it just become like this pattern, like a broken record. Right? And I don't think that's beneficial. And I even asked myself too, like, damn, should I even fucking release my book? Or should it just be a token of understanding that's sacred just to me and myself only, and I can just take it to my grave? I thought about that and looked at it from that perspective, and I'm just like, nah, it's a reason why, y'all. I remember, like, when I was writing my book, my autobiography, I felt my pen was on fire. And I've held on to this for so long. We are in 2024. And I wrote this back in, I think I started writing like October 2009. And from there, it was going to be released like October 2010. And I remember like the different places where I wrote it, you know. I think, I started writing it, I think in Jacksonville. And I moved to Atlanta, fell on hard times, but still writing, homeless. Going through the fucking trenches, y'all. It's just like, y'all, I've been through some shit. And I'm still here, y'all. We are still here. So, yes. I just realized that in releasing a story of this magnitude and depth and political awareness, that it comes it's gonna bring opposition, right? And it's gonna bring it's gonna bring like this energy where it's gonna require me to come with a certain kind of energy. And for me, I've kind of, which I think is healthy for a lot of people who see themselves as social activists, to kind of take a break. We gotta pull back away for our own mental health, right? Because it takes a lot out of you to always be on the front lines fighting against racial oppression, fighting against the system, right? That you know is fucked up. It takes a lot, and so I am aware, I'm always mindful of that. And there are times where I kind of take a step back because there's repercussions too. Like I'm amongst, even though I take a step back, I'm amongst people who are on the front lines and who have remained on the front lines. And I see the hell that they have to go through. They're going through the death threats, the attacks. This is like, unless you're in it, right? Unless this is happening to you and you're in it, you just don't know. I had conversations with one of our freedom fighters, his father, and just to hear, like, I can understand. I understand why people retire. They say, you know what, I'm retiring from this social activism, right? Because it's exhausting. It's tiring. And sometimes you're the only one fighting. You look around, you're like, okay, where's everybody else at, right? Why is there so much division? So you have to take a step back. But yeah, these pants, I don't have these pants for a minute. But yeah, I feel like my story and just things I've lived, right, through my lens, through my perspective, can definitely lend some insight to other people. I love this. A lot of this stuff I just wear around the house. Like, you would never see me walking outside, anything like this. Though when I was younger, I used to wear a lot of oochie coochie booty shorts. I don't dress like that anymore. It's funny how, like, age will change you, will shift your perspective. I don't know where I got this from. I want to say my sister. This looks like something my sister gave me many, many years ago. My marijuana pants. Back when I used to smoke. I retired from smoking marijuana in 2018, but the girl definitely was a professional weed smoker, okay? Y'all have no idea. I be saying that a lot, like, if people only knew. They just have no idea. Yeah, some of these clothes I'm donating. I was just like, I develop attachments to it. All right, so I have a whole heap of clothes here. Coming down to the last little bit. Almost done. Oh, I gotta take a break. I don't like the change in time. How we get less daylight. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. All right. Maybe have 2-3 more bags at most. Let's get her done. When I move from out of this place, oh my gosh. I'm gonna need one of them big ass U-Haul trucks that have a lot of freaking shit. Most of which clothes. Like, even though I'm donating all these bags of clothes, I still have so many more clothes. It's insane. And then all of the paintings I've done, which is like, I counted over 140 some paintings, right, across my space, my living room, kitchen, bedroom, even my bathroom. So that's gonna take up a lot of space. But I have a lot of books too, funny enough, which I haven't. My friend's supposed to build me a bookshelf. He thought he got off. I used to wear these when I worked in a hospital. in LA. Blessed, baby. Yes, we always blessed. No matter what, no matter the setbacks, no matter the opposition that comes against us, we always come out on top, baby. Yes, honey. Yes. I got a lot of tank tops. I cannot wait for the spring. Like for me, I like all seasons, and sometimes I do like appreciate like the fall, winter. I like winter, like the snow. It hasn't really snowed here in New York yet. We may get it, we may not. It's been cold, but we ain't really getting no snow. And we had some flurries about a month ago, but that wasn't really nothing. Oh, I know I ain't giving this away. This somehow slipped. This is my senior shirt. I definitely not giving this away. That's a mistake. So I do have several of those that are sentimental. I got some from my high school, John Ribault High School in Jacksonville, Florida. I got some from Florida State University that I went to. I actually used to wear these to work. It's cute. And they're still good. Nice pants. But not wearing them. What's this? Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to bring in the New Year's this year. At the end of this year, I don't know. But it's definitely going to be something fun and turned up. You got to plan, especially in New York. It's everything. The reason why I ended up going to that comedy club last minute, and it was it's all right. Kind of shitty. Wasn't many people there. They didn't even have that many comics. I think they had maybe like 3 or 4 comics. It was all right. Kind of blah. But I didn't plan. Like, everything was booked, yo. And the things that was not booked was through the roof. We're talking about like $700 just for a cruise here in New York. I think the cruises were how long? Like 2 hours, 3-hour long cruise, and it take you like some I think went like the East River or Hudson River, and you get to see the fireworks and the little champagne toast at midnight. So this, when I was living in Florida, I think is it Universal Studio? Yeah, Universal Island of Adventure. When I was partnered with one of my exes, of course I was thing one. I don't know if he got his thing two shirt. Should I keep it? Should I say fuck it? Maybe I'll keep it. But we have not been talking. I actually cut him off. And so he called himself like not talking to me because I cut him off. Like he trying to get me back. I guess he'd say I'm really gonna show her. But that was like my best friend. And yeah, cut his ass off because the plan was for us to go to Africa and get our passport. I got my passport 2019. We supposed to get our passport around the same time, and then when I moved back to New York, the plan was for us to, plan to go to Africa. We're talking about this for a minute. The time came around, I guess he thought I was bullshitting. Like, nigga, if I'm saying I'm gonna do something, I followed through. I told his ass I'm coming back to New York when I finish my studies out in LA. I did that 2020, okay? Got myself to get my own place. Did that. I live in Manhattan, right? And I'm like, when I get my place, you're invited. You can come through. We're gonna plan our trip to Africa. It's just bullshit. I feel like he got people in his ear, like his sisters, telling him little shit. Why they don't like me, I don't know, but fuck them, I don't care. So of course, I guess he sided with his family, But when his family put his ass to the side, kicked his ass to the side, then who he had to fall on? Lean on my motherfucking shoulder. Okay, lean on my goddamn shoulder. So yeah, out of his ass. I'm like, man, I ain't say his name. Like, y'all won't know his name unless y'all know, you gotta really, really know me to know what I'm talking about. But it's just like, I'm like, child, boo, this motherfucker full of shit. And he's always looking at my videos, just like y'all motherfuckers watch my videos and don't say shit. But then be all in my goddamn inbox and all up in my comment section and wonder why I don't say shit back to y'all ass. Because y'all don't say shit to my motherfucking ass when you watch my damn videos. He used to watch my videos and just stalking me and not say shit. He watching my shit though, so yeah, I call his ass out. Like I said, I ain't say his name, but I'm like, this little motherfucker, scary ass motherfucker. It be getting me because these niggas, right? Listen, I'm from Florida. Huh. Don't get it. Don't ever get it motherfucking twisted. I'm from the hood. And these motherfuckers be trying to, they so goddamn gangster, so motherfucking hood, right? And we was in Florida. Everybody in Florida got a gun. So he had his little gun and shit. He would carry around several guns. I always want to be thug hard, right? When it comes to going, let's go to Africa, right? And everybody know in Africa, it's considered like a third world place. And so, oh, he's scared. Oh, now he needs his gun. Now, we would travel throughout places in Florida, going to Miami, different, he probably did take the gun in Miami, but different places, right? Well, I said, you don't need no fucking gun to go on a vacation. We're going on a vacation. And that's where the shit hit the fan, baby. And since then, I had cut his ass off. I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. But anyway, I had this shirt. Then I got this shirt back in LA. And I was in a relationship. I got this shirt to piss my ex off. On purpose. Now it was just in my bag. Sometimes you gotta show motherfucker, listen, you don't run shit. Cause some people times when they get like in a certain position where they think they got like a little leg up over you. I said this shit before in a previous video. This is what you do. Like that's so-called submissive, right? Granted, I am submissive. I love to be in that position. But when you see a motherfucker don't deserve it, take that shit back. Snatch that shit right on back and you let the ass know who really holds the power. Who really holds the power? Listen, anything that is given to you can be taken away. Submission is a gift. Don't get it twisted. Let a motherfucker know, and I'll be quick. Hold up. So this is one of my skirts. I used to actually wear this. Oh yeah, I think I used to wear this to work. When I first moved to New York back in 2014, I was completing my master's degree at LIU Post on Long Island. And one of my internship sites was in Brooklyn. Right, I worked for this community-based clinic out in Brooklyn. And I remember I used to dress like in skirts. I used to wear skirts too. Now I wear pants and like my little blazers and shit. I used to wear skirts back then. Baby. I really don't remember wearing this. This is from H&M. You can tell some shit is just outdated. It look outdated, right? Like, you know this shit outdated. Yeah, I keep the bitch motherfuckers away from me. You can't be no scared little bitch around my motherfucking ass. This is the thing. It's like me, my life is very peaceful. Knock on wood, but I've never been to jail, right? I don't invite that kind of energy in my space at all. Right? I'm relatively a law-abiding citizen, relatively speaking. And, but I just don't like that little bitch made energy around me. That's what that should be about. Motherfuckers come around. You got grown ass men want to be hard and think they tough, but then they be scurry. They be scared, you know what I'm saying? They come around my ass. Niggas be shaking their goddamn boots. I'm like, what is it? Do I really have that level of fierceness? Maybe I do. Sometimes we don't recognize our own power, yo. I'm on a train yesterday as I was heading to Harlem. And as soon as I stepped on the train, I heard his voice go, oh, there go the queen. So it was a crowded train, so I'm standing up. And I'm trying to, once I got in, right, and the doors closed and the train took off from the stop where I got on at. Of course, I'm kind of inclined to look around and see, like, damn, who said that, right? And so I did. I'm looking around, and it's this guy. He looked nice looking. He was playing music, and he was kind of rapping, and I looked at him, and he kind of pulled me into his little rap session, and kind of made like a couple of lines about me, dropped some bars about me, whatever. And then as I'm leaving, right, because I got off on the stop before he got off, I was walking towards the exit before we get to the stop to get ready to get off. I'm standing there, and when I got there, I don't think he noticed I was there. Then he looked up at me, right? He dropped his phone. So then he goes, "Oh gosh, you have some very powerful energy. You made me drop my phone." I find that interesting, y'all. I do know my power. Sometimes I try to like blend in, act like I'm just a regular motherfucker. I love this sweater. I really do. I love it. But I have to part ways with it. Yeah, I try to blend in like I'm, a regular motherfucker. I one of y'all, but I know I'm really not. Listen, I know my fucking power. I do. And people around me know it too. That's why you gotta be able to match it. You can't be scared because I am my power within me. And this is not just me too, my horn or being pompous. It's just I know I've seen this in action. And men will literally be sweating bullets. Why are you sweating? What is wrong with you? I can see like their skin crawling and they're attracted to me, but it's just like I don't know. It's just they're intimidated. And some have even said that. Like, why are you? I am not aggressive. I don't feel like I have an aggressive energy per se, especially when I'm like on a date. I'm contained. I'm quiet. I'm assertive. I will speak up, but if you as a man handling your shit, this is the reason why I'm only attracted to alpha men, because then I can rest in my femininity when I'm with an alpha man. And I've had that. And that's the reason why I say I only count my last serious relationship as the one that ended in 2017, right? Because he definitely had that alpha energy. And I could fall back and just be my feminine self, and he took care of things. We out in public, he took care of it, But you got men, they don't know how to be masculine, to be a man. So, like, you just sitting back being passive, of course, then I'm going to speak up. And this motherfucker invited me to the damn restaurant. This was on one of the dates I went on. I think it was last year, like around April. And so he invited me out, right? Go to the restaurant, Jamaican. He's Caribbean. And I'm just like, okay, we had a reservation. We get there maybe like 25 minutes, 20 minutes before our reservation time. But there's seating. But then the waiter tells us to wait for our reservation. So I'm like, okay. Honestly, I don't want to just sit at the bar and we just sit here like, what? He was okay with just being at the bar. I don't know. That's not a date. That's not what we're here for. We're just at the damn bar waiting for a table. I'm like, there are tables. Let's just go. Even if we go outside, I'm okay with sitting outside. And again, this is like April, right? The weather is okay. And so I'm saying that to the waitress because his ass don't know what the fuck to say. He don't even have the listen. If you don't even know what to say, at least check in with me and tell him what would you like to do. No, we just standing there. So I'm like, I took it upon myself to communicate with the waiter, and he like telling me like, "Oh, calm down." I'm like, calm down. I'm not even hyped. I can speak up for myself and assert myself. I don't want to stand here at the bar. I would like to take a seat. Otherwise, I can take my black ass back home. Okay? And so we get seated, and then there's no menu on the table. There's like a little QR code shit. I don't like those things, right? But then I realized I have a little scanner on my phone that I can use. I just don't like using it. I prefer, I'm old school. Give me a fucking printed out menu. So I'm asking for that. And I'm like, I noticed that we don't have one. And I tell the waiter, and he's just like, again, like, oh, chill out. Like, let them do it for you. Listen, let them do it for me. They never offered that. Like, what the fuck? So, like, I feel like from the jump, he just felt insecure in himself. Because all of that, I don't like that shit. Oh, calm down. Like, what the fuck am I calming down for? It's nothing to calm down about. I'm not even crunk. I'm asking for something. The hell? Right? And so then he's like, well, I don't usually do things like that. He was like, for example, if they serve me a glass that's dirty, right? Like you serving me water or even a fork, right? That you can clearly see wasn't cleaned thoroughly. There's food stuck to the fork. That's happened. It doesn't happen every time I go, but it has happened. I'm like, I'm the kind of person, I'm going to say something like, listen, this fork, that food stuck to it, right? Or this glass, because maybe I'm just OCD, but I be inspecting shit. Like, when they give me my glass of what I'm looking at it, like, okay. Making sure it's good because, these are restaurants, and these are restaurants in New York City. High volume restaurants. They serve a lot of people. And I realize the more high pace the restaurant is, sometimes the poorer the service all the way around, right? And so I'm going to call it to their attention. So he was like, oh, you one of them. Excuse you. Like, do not try to berate me. Do not don't come cross me unless you're willing to receive that same kind of energy, because I can bring it. And so he's like, oh, you one of them? I was like, no, one of them. And so then he's like, yeah, I have a partner. He just had to say it. He's like, yeah, I have a friend. He's a chef. And he tells me that people like that want to send the order back to the kitchen, like my partner, his friend, they spit in your food or do something alter your food. Like, why do you feel the need to tell? This is the first date now. Now y'all like listen. If you made this far in the video, like, is that that's not appropriate for you to say just because you think that, and just yes, that may be true. Like, if you're trying to win a person over, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just like, all right, well, this shit don't work out, I'll go to the next one. Whatever the case may be, but that wasn't the case for him, because this mother, when I cut his ass off after the first date, that yes, of course he paid for it. You wasted your time and your goddamn money. I cut his ass off. He begging and pleading, oh, please, please, please. If it's gonna be all like that, then nigga, be mindful of what comes out your fucking mouth. I don't tolerate that bullshit. You're not gonna sit here and disrespect me. Talking about, hypothetical situations with your friend. Like, it's almost as if he was kind of siding with the idea of that's what should happen to me in a situation like that, where I'm just bringing an issue to the attention of the waiter. Yes, I will let you know. Don't try to make me soak in my integrity, and my self-esteem. You trying to attack me. I realized that relationship was going to be toxic if it continued. It seriously was, because hell to the motherfucking nah. But I love this sweater. Another one. It's like a halter sweater, but I have to part ways with it. It's just like motherfuckers like that. I like the old school, old fashioned men that just are respectful. That's number one. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who you is. The same thing with jobs. You got motherfuckers like have this culture of jobs that employees just supposed to show up and do whatever the supervisor, who the fuck in charge, tell them to do. Like, hell nah. Some of this shit is asinine. They be coming at you sideways. You gotta let these motherfuckers know, listen, y'all need me. Listen, we can mutually benefit from me working here, right? But don't come at me like, oh, it ain't another goddamn job, or I don't have the propensity to be able to make my own living independently. That's the trap we fall into. And that goes into this whole New Year's resolution and what do we want to see for ourselves. That is something I always envisioned for myself, being independent, being an entrepreneur. We've said it and I've done it. I've lived it. I'm doing it now. Meanwhile, working a job, because yes, the job has great benefits, but some things for me, and it should be very clear, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And I stand by that shit. Listen, that's what my mom used to always say. You don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. Fuck that. Damn that. This is one of the shirts I used to wear when I worked in LA. at the hospital. I worked at a psych hospital in LA too. I actually like working in psych hospitals because I'm fit for the job. Ain't nobody can beat my level of crazy. That's the way I see it. Ain't nobody can beat my level of crazy, but another skirt I used to wear before moving to LA, living here in New York. More scrubs. No, I don't want your number now. I don't want to give you mine now. I don't want to meet you nowhere. I'm like, wait, I do have a shirt like this with this long sleeve. Yep. Transformers. I think I got this when I saw this Transformers movie out in LA. Yeah, these niggas y'all be having shit fucked up. And dudes be getting mad at me because they realize I am not one of them that you can get over. You cannot. You just can't. And then you think you are. You're going to make a fool of yourself. I promise. I promise you, boo-boo. If you try to make a fool out of my ass, that shit going to come right back on your ass before you can fucking blink and say hello. It is. So don't even try it. The way you win with me is just respect. Because I'm going to show respect to you. Just respect me. And don't come with that bitch-made, scary-ass energy around me either. Like, you don't know who the fuck you are. And you want to sit here and bow down and be subservient to white people. Nah. That shit don't fly with me. And if you coming with that, we damn sure ain't going to be compatible. Because a lot of y'all be watching me secretly. Y'all wait till I post a video after I go live. Y'all wait till I post it. And y'all want to pop up. Trying to message me. Hell nah. Not interested in none of y'all motherfuckers. Now, I do have several dashikis. Funny enough, I don't remember which one was my first dashiki. I'm going to go back and watch my video I made. I don't think I meant to put this here because one of these was supposed to... I think this was the one my coworker gave me. I made a video on my first dashiki that I purchased back in LA. And I was so excited. And I wore it to work. And my patients, the clients were like really exuberated. They responded. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful, right? And so then when I worked to the place where I was working, a colleague of mine, she was like, that's not a real dashiki. Like, that's not a real dashiki. And you can tell, first of all, I got it from one of the Chinese stores in the Baldwin Hills Mall out there in Crenshaw. And so it was cheap. That's the reason why I got it. I think it was like 3 for $10. So it was really cheap. Anybody know real dashikis ain't going for no goddamn 3 for $10. So I think this could be one of the ones she gave me. I don't think I meant to put it here. This shirt, what's this? Golden State Warriors. So I made a video too of this where I purchased a shirt and a matching hat with my last partner. He was what's the other team? I think LeBron James is on that team. I can't remember. It's evading my memory, but the team that played them, right? And so we was like kind of going at it. Wasn't like on the same page, but we were still fucking vibing with each other, right? He wanted to still spend time, and so I remember when that game came around. Of course, he was going for other team, and I'm just like, I wanted to piss his ass off, so I go and I buy this. I thought it was fun, but it was fun while it lasted. By the way, I'm not really into basketball. I'll watch basketball games, but I'm not a basketball fan. I'm not really a sports fan. I just did that for fun. I remember these shorts here. Damn, yo, this should go way back. Let's go way back. I wore this. Love wearing this too. Working at a hospital. Push you under the bus. And it's a funny thing. It's an odd thing about starting a new job because it's like it's a honeymoon phase on both sides. And it's things that happen that sometimes you may let slide because, okay, they don't really know you. They're like, they don't know me like that, right? So you let some shit slide. But then I realized, no, hell no, it's time to fucking start to set some boundaries. Y'all got me fucked up. Straight the hell up. Oh, I got this from this vendor in Harlem. Black Lives Matter. But I wore it out. And I don't like that. Do not be coming at me sideways just expecting this and that. Like, I'm not one of those kind of employees. Like, you know, I can help out with a lot of shit, but nah. Some people, I feel like take advantage of that shit too. Because they know you're a good employee and they just want to dump this, dump that. Listen, y'all gonna be posting another ad looking for another employee with their bullshit. Don't be coming to me. I show up to work or I come back from lunch break and there's shit on my desk. Do not do that. And I'm about to say that shit to these motherfuckers too, because I don't hate. Listen, not that I don't even like it. Yo, I abhor it. Okay? It just does something inside of me. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? Leaving tasks, something as petty as going write a note to say, oh, can you change the provider on this treatment plan? And so when I had a discussion with her about what exactly did she mean, you mean go into the system, the electronic medical record system and change it and then print out a new treatment plan? Or do you want me to draw a line? She's like, draw a line. If that's the case, why the fuck you didn't sit here and took the time to write this note out of a task you want me to do? But then, like, the same amount of time you spent to write the note, you could have just did it yourself. Scratch out a psychiatrist's name and then write the others. Like, why the fuck? I read that shit really pissed. I ain't say nothing. I was like, okay, I did it. You know, and I got clarification on what exactly she meant. And I'm just like, and the reason why I guess I didn't really say anything is I know it don't really come from a bad place necessarily, but I feel like in a way it may do. Because if you're doing shit like that, you're not doing it just because, oh, your plate is full or you want to spread some of the wealth. No, you doing this shit. It's like a power control thing. I don't mesh well with anybody, personal, professional relationships, when you're on that power and control, unless we fucking listen. That's a different story. And some of y'all motherfuckers that are my colleagues be watching my videos and somehow get that shit mistaken. Yes, I'm a submissive. But it's only some motherfuckers that I'm in love. I have to be in love with your ass. As a man, okay? That's a different ball game. When it comes to work, nah, bitch, I'm not submitting to no motherfucking body. And I've said this to so-called bosses or superiors or who the fuck ever. I do not work for you. I am here for the patients. Do not get that shit twisted. Now, if you don't like, you can do whatever paperwork you got to do to get my ass out of here. I don't care. You have to, I don't give a fuck. And this is the reason why. I've always been, it's not really about being anti-establishment or anti-system. It's just, listen, knowing the fuck who you are, knowing your worth, and not selling for nothing less. This is back in Atlanta. I used to give a lot of free shit from the radio. But listen, hell no, man. Do not come at me with that bullshit. And I started November and we January. That's what, 2 months in. I'm already feeling like, hell no, man. This shit ain't for me. You know, but granted, apart from that, I love to work with the patients. That's easy peasy. I'm made for it. Right? My life experiences have definitely primed me for a time as this. But it's like, do not come at me with no bullshit like I'm your goddamn pet or I'm your do-girl. And you just dumping tasks on my motherfucking desk. Like, I ain't already got my own line of tasks. Right? Or playing me as if I don't even know what the fuck, how to do what I'm supposed to do. I work for the state, same job, just a different hospital for 2 years already. I know how to do fucking treatment plans. I know how to do all this shit. So don't come at me like you teaching me some shit that I already know how to motherfucking do. Probably do it 10 times better than your motherfucking ass. Do this shit in my sleep. Don't play me like that. That's the shit I got an issue with. Don't try to sit up here and make me feel like I'm subservient to your ass. Cause bitch, you white, I'm black. Enough said right there. Don't come at me like that. That's the shit I got an issue with. Yo, I used to love the hell out of this goddamn shirt right here. Until it got too small. I don't even remember where I got it from. I used to love this. That's how I know working 9 to 5 ain't for me. But then I think like, damn, this definitely is really good pay. And I'm like, you know, I could if I change my perspective. But sometimes people, and I see it, it's like, oh yeah, you change your perspective. But then you then are compromising your self-worth. The things that you stood on before you came there, you no longer can stand on because, oh, you trying to get a paycheck. You're trying to save face. Nah. I feel like I don't like the person I'm becoming. I feel like I'm becoming a watered down person of who I am. Nah. I've always been a strong person, standing 10 toes down on who she is. And I can see I'm kind of slowly, like the more you work a 9 to 5, you like this, the more you slip away from that. Unless I can grow, like if I can go in an environment, which is not really likely, there's some, I'm sure, healthy working environments that, you know, can nurture the leadership aspect of who you are, nurture, you know, the attributes that you bring to the job, right? Your strengths, your abilities, as opposed to trying to make you feel like, oh, you gotta submit to their motherfucking ass. And yes, man, nah, I ain't with that shit. I'm not with it. I'm not motherfucking with it. So I be telling these they come to that point where I tell them, maybe y'all hired the wrong person. And they look at me like, well, damn, who? This is a different person than we thought that we hired. Hey, it is what the fuck it is. Okay, so, oh, now that I remember, I think this is the actual shirt that she gifted me. This is it. But yeah, it's time to pass it on. This is the dashiki. Maybe I should keep it. So I thought this was one. Where did I get this one from? Maybe this is one of the other ones. I just know I'm not gonna wear it, so that's the reason why. Because I'm not gonna wear it, I have to give it away. Otherwise, it's just like a souvenir. I used to love the hell. I wore this shit so many times. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is one I wore with those marijuana plant pants when I did the review on that BDSM club experience. My very first BDSM club experience for my 32nd birthday here in New York. The video I was wearing this. Y'all go check it out. Go check it out. But yes, honey, that's the kind of life I like. It was a safe space too. I had this for a while. I actually had this since I came back to New York, 2020. But I mean, must part ways with it. But yeah, some of y'all have gotten very good at becoming these goddamn slaves working on a plantation. I'm too wise, I'm too woke, I'm too conscious for that. And it breaks your spirit. Because you know who you are, you know you're much stronger than that. I don't see how people can do it. I mean, they compromise because they're there for their paycheck, I guess. And then they're there for reasons beyond the paycheck, right? Wanting to give back and serve the patients and that. But I feel like, in the meantime, it does take a lot more out of you. And I feel like my energy, my talents can be best used somewhere else where I know I can make twice or more than what I'm making currently now. I know. Cali. I'm going to visit. I'm going to visit California sometime soon. These rocks. Too small. Check this outfit out. My ex-boyfriend tried to give me. My ex-partner. Not boyfriend. I don't have boyfriends. That's for little kids. He had the nerve to try to come and try to make up. And so he went. I'm like, what the hell make him think I'm about to sit up here and wear this shit out? This is the outfit right here. He got the nerve. I'm like, this motherfucker is insane. People do anything. Try to wear the motherfucker back. This blazer here seen better days, yo. Alright, I'm almost done. I think I got like just peacoats left. Coats. So how many bags we got? 2, 4, 6, 7. It'll be 8. I thought it would be 12, but it's gonna be about 8 bags. We're almost done. Y'all, send some good juju my way that one of those donation companies can call me sometime this week to pick up all this shit. I gotta get rid of it. But I think I saw, I went to this website that had a list of different free donation pickups, and they had Goodwill listed as one. Goodwill, Salvation Army, that if you call them, you can schedule a pickup. These bags smell so good. They're scented bags. White pine breeze scented. Alright. Down to the ringer. I used to love this. This actually came from Forever 21. But I gotta part ways with it. I got a lot of peacoats, some that I've never really worn. Because I realized after I purchased them, they didn't have pockets. This one has pockets, but I never really wore it because I thought it was cute when I got it, but then I realized, boo-boo. It's cute. Ooh. Maybe I outgrew it. Got really long arms. Yeah, some of us, we just not built for no 9 to 5. That's all it is. And those of us that's not built for a 9 to 5, and some people will even say not even built to go to school, be sitting on that desk, right? He's not built for that. We're the real change makers. Because the way society says they want to just condition and train people to be servants. To work a 9 to 5. To make other motherfuckers rich. That's essentially what your ass doing. So this is pretty much the twin of the one I just took off, but it's just burgundy. Donating. I still have a lot of peacoats now, but now I've transitioned. So these are the shorter ones that come to your butt. Now I got ones that come down past my calf, which I like those better. Blue. Another peacoat. This is, I think, one of the ones that I realized didn't have pockets, so I didn't really wear it. I purchased it when I was out in LA for a vacation back to New York. I used to come visit New York like when I was living out there every holiday season. So I thought I was doing something when I went to the shopping mall out there in Beverly Hills. Got a bunch of pea coats, headed to New York for vacation, just to realize, like, wait, as I was packing, they didn't have pockets. I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to go back out. I think when I got to New York, I went shopping, and then I got the right ones with pockets. Because you need pockets, listen. Your hands need pockets. Keep warm in New York. I used to love this fashionable blazer. I actually wore it to I think it was Kevin Hart Night School movie premiere in LA. But I'm saying goodbye. Just gonna fit these all in this bag. Another nice sweater. My aunt came on my post yesterday and asked me. She told me to send these to her. Like, ship them to me. Like, we're 2 different sizes. She probably, I said 2 sizes. I'm being generous. I said 2. I was like, you 2 sizes bigger than me. She more so like probably 4 or 5 sizes bigger than mine. Hell nah. You can't fit this shit. Hell no. But if I did have family close by here that could wear it, and yeah, they would definitely be able to come and get it. But listen, I ain't holding to this shit. She gotta go. I love this coat. I like the little fur. It's stylish. College pants, sweatpants. Let's see. Oh, this is another coat I got from the food pantry in Atlanta. I think this is Eddie Bauer. Nice. But got to go. I'm gonna do this one more time too. Probably not until I get ready to leave. When I move out this space into my dream condo in New York, I want to get like one of those high-rise condos with floor to ceiling windows. Kind of similar to what Kendra has in LA. She live in Beverly Hills, but I always said I wanted one of those. So, but here in New York, I want to get it too. So when I get ready to move into that, then I'm probably going to do the same thing. Just to downsize because I don't want to take all that shit with me. Another nice sweater. I used to love wearing this. Why it's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. Damn, it goes to show how small I was, y'all. I am small frame though. Despite what I look. I've always been kind of slim. And then, you know, as you boss up, as you get older, you gain weight. And now, this is the last thing. Jacket. Oh, it's one of my favorite jackets, y'all. I don't even know if Forever 21 makes jackets like these. I haven't seen these in a while. I'll try it on for the last time. Last time. Oh, man. I love it. Sentimental because I think I used to wear this back in LA to class when I was in my PhD program. But I'm parting ways. So the last thing is actually some shoes I ordered from this African company, pt2 in Kenya, right? So I come from Africa, East Africa. But turns out, I should have known this because, Kenyans are much smaller than us, right? So the size comparison is different. It's not the same. So a 9 that you usually may wear here in the U.S., right? I wear a size 9 in women. It don't equate to their 9. And it says here UK 8, EU 41, but nah. This is not the correct size, and so I couldn't even get my foot in this. But these are some cute shoes. I never wore them though. It's cute, but So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to donate them. I mean, I could sell them. I don't know. I may actually sell them. I don't need to. Just donate them to somebody else and sell them. And then, so I let them know, right? Like, the shoes don't fit because they followed over the emails they do normally, I guess, to see how you like your purchase. I'm like, yo, the shoes don't fucking fit. They're not the same. They're not the equivalent. Too small. So they sent some more, but I think these end up being the same exact damn size. It's 41. It's not any different. Very nice shoes. Colorful. Just don't fit. So, and then they're like, okay, just send them back. I went to go to get a quote. As I was about to go ship them back, I went, I think, to the same company they use, DHL, and they wanted a couple $100 to ship the shit to East Africa, like several $100. I'm like, that's more than the cost I paid for them. I think the cost was only what? Oh, here's a quote I got. $243 to ship it from here to East Africa. I'm like, I didn't even pay that much money. I think I paid maybe $60 for these shoes. Anyway, I can't wear them, so they're gonna have to go somewhere. Yeah, I'm tired of just holding them. On that note, it has been a long video. I know this video had to be gotta be probably 2 hours. But I will catch y'all in the next one, okay? Y'all stay out of my inbox. Y'all freaks. Let me take this off. Calling me a freak when y'all the ones to freak. Talking to myself. Oh, I want to fuck you. Ew. I have no idea. I be telling y'all though, when y'all be messaging me talking about your penis size and you messaging me talking about this, and I don't care to hear that. Right? But I do like to do analyses on people's proclivities sometimes. Some of y'all, not all of y'all. Alright, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.